Hello, you beautiful people. And James. Welcome back, guys. So today we bring you another new video, and this one is from Penguins Zero. I think it's how you pronounce it, and it is who is the worst game developer?
EA,
So yeah, EA. I'm going with EA.
most
Yeah,
definitely,
hundred
most
percent,
definitely.
100% guaranteed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
They
would.
just
That
EA.
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah,
they just want more money. They don't give a damn
They
about us.
started microtransactions. Like mainstream microtransactions. I know
and
they were around before, but they made it like loot box heavy and everything like that, man.
And
They
if you
ruined
agree
games.
with us, hit that subscribe button. Show us you agree with us.
Or if you don't, hit that subscribe button and show that you don't agree with us.
And if you're on the fence, you can hit the thumbs up button. I don't know anymore. Hey, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Gamers' minds have been plagued by one unanswerable question. Who is the worst developer in the world? Well, rest easy tonight, my sweet children, because I will be answering this once and for all, using science, data, and my opinion, which is going to be stated as a fact.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is your warning now. If you're allergic to the truth, you're not welcome here. But for those of you that want to have your third eye open, please join me and sit on my lap
coming.
as I give you
Okay.
the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Now let's tackle this riddle.
I'm
The
gonna sit
correct
on his lap.
answer to the
Pause so I can get
question,
there.
who
Go ahead, Bulldog.
Right.
Go ahead.
fruit of knowledge. Now let's tackle this riddle. The correct answer to the question, who is the worst game developer, is 343 Industries.
343.
Now, before you throw your arms up
What?
in the air and start spitting and
Sounds
shitting in anger,
sounds familiar.
let me explain. I'm only talking about AAA game devs. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of terrible indie devs that have made horrible things or have done horrible things. I'm
Yeah,
not here to talk
loads of
about that. I'm focusing on AAA big budget studios. I also want to explain that I'm only talking about the quality of the games they produce and not the actual workplace environment. Because if we were
Oh.
talking about that, then obviously there's been like sexual assaults and a ton of different
Bethesda.
awful
Blizzard,
things
yeah.
at other studios. So I just wanted to make that clear. Now let's pour some sauce on this spaghetti.
343
I'm
is
going to
Halo.
show you a quick clip from one of my recent streams where I was ranting about 343 because they recently published their roadmap for Halo Infinite, and it's
Yeah,
laughable.
such
Those
a
that don't
bad
know, Halo
game.
Infinite is 343's recent release, and it has been just a complete catastrophe, just an absolute disaster. It's a good game, gameplay-wise,
Is that your favorite game, Bulldog?
No.
Oh,
and the campaign's pretty fun. There's good ideas there, but unfortunately, this thing launched without any content at all. They fucking threw this thing out there naked. It was so barren when it came to content, but the community was under the impression that they would be adding content to the game as it continued to exist. But they really haven't. They've barely even been drip feeding this thing to keep it on life support. It's not enough. It's fucking flatlining. It's dying of thirst, and 343 can't even piss in its mouth. Then they've only
Damn.
added 2 maps in almost an entire year.
Only 2
This game came out
That's
November
garbage.
15th
Wow,
of
that's
2021,
terrible.
and they've only added 2 maps since then,
That's
and no
crazy.
other big meaningful updates. It's fucking crazy. And
I
this is
quit
also the
Halo for a
only
reason.
Halo game that's
Bad.
touted as a fucking live service
Bad.
game, and they have no service for it. I'm already getting a little shaken and stirred here just discussing it. But anyway, they posted their roadmap. It's bad. Seeing that Halo Infinite canceled. Oh, I actually wanted to talk about that. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, this was so embarrassing. So I talked about it on stream a little bit, but Halo Infinite posted their roadmap. They extended Season 2 to 10 months now. Forge beta is coming later this year. Co-op campaign testing later this year too. But overall,
They got a Forge
Super
like Call of
underwhelming.
Duty now.
a lot of people really very disappointed with 343 as per usual. But one thing they announced is that they fully canceled split screen.
I mean, I don't care about that.
They said we're done
I don't care about that.
throwing that shit in the toilet and flushing it. No more split screen.
I don't. Yeah.
So
I
then
don't
on
care about that.
Twitter,
I don't care.
I don't
about
remember
But
who
yeah,
it was,
loads of
but one of
people
the
love
bigger
split
accounts was
screen,
like, actually, split screen is totally
Kids.
fine. In fact, we're having it working right now. And they posted a video of them glitching split screen into the game. So they were successfully able to just implement split screen themselves through a glitch. And it even works,
So
not even
343
just
and New World
two-player
is the
split
same.
screen, 4-player. Hold on, let me pull up the clip.
Spawned into New World.
So 343 apparently
Chopping a
couldn't
tree.
quite crack the code on making split screen work. Meanwhile,
I completely missed what y'all said.
Halo has bad coding and New World has bad coding. So someone figures out how to put a Spartan in New World, chopping trees down with this freaking
Oh,
plasma sword.
I don't. There's gonna be a warthog and a ghost and a banshee over there eventually.
4-3
Hide
apparently
y'all's code.
couldn't
also,
quite
I've watched 4 episodes of Halo. It's
You,
not too bad. I
you
get
gotta
what.
finish it.
Oh no! I'm saying I took what it's into consideration with the fact that why he took his helmet off, and I'm thinking you're on about his friend being the Asian. Okay, I see. So yeah.
So
Maybe
343
spoil it for them.
apparently couldn't quite crack the code on making split screen work. Meanwhile, just fucking rock hard dicked gamers on Twitter were able to immediately figure it out only hours after their announcement through glitching. Yeah, here we go. Here, Mint Blitz even talked about it.
Of course, mods.
Quite the
modders do
development
it.
has
So
occurred.
this whole video is gonna be
343
343. Huh?
has cut official Halo Infinite split screen co-op.
Yeah, it seems
However,
like.
with the use of a glitch, you can actually get into.
Oh, snap.
the
Isn't that fucking
just
crazy?
I don't
out
because
guide.
everyone should
Half
have
a
their own
billion
console.
dollars in the Halo Infinite, and 343 fumbles it extraordinarily. They didn't even launch the game with like any content, unfortunately, and it has been over a year and still well, it hasn't been a full year yet, but it's coming up, and still has barely any fucking content. And now they cancel one of the most basic features that games have had for the last 25
Oh,
years.
I see
Oh,
what he's
Split
getting
screen's
at.
been phased out from most
But
major
pause
games
for a
just 'cause
sec.
they don't.
So he's tearing 343 up for Halo only. So how's that the worst developer?
It's not. It's his
I-
opinion.
well, yeah, that's what he said, but his opinion is also fact. But no, I see what he's getting at is the fact that they cancelled. I don't know, split screen ain't huge, but a simple function that they should be able to do like without even thinking about it. It's like turning on a light switch.
Maybe
Like
it's not the
it's
fact
that
they.
simple.
Maybe it's not the fact they can't do it. Maybe they just don't want to do it. Because think about
Yeah,
it. If you do,
yeah, but it was
split-
on their roadmap.
check this out. Think about it from a business perspective. If you enable split screen, you're basically saying that people don't need to buy copies of the game because one person could have 4 people playing. Therefore, you're losing 4 copies of the game or 3 copies of the game. So maybe they're saying like, hey, if we enable split screen, people don't have to buy our game. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Buy our
I
game.
don't think it's about money. I think it's laziness, bro. They just don't
Yeah,
want to deal with it.
it is pure. It is pure laziness.
It's laziness, bro.
Because you have to think like loads of kids as well. That the parents aren't going to have the internet or console, so they might all chip in for the one guy who's got a console to get a game they can all go around and play.
That's
You never know
Back-
people's
back in
situations.
the old
bro.
days.
Yeah, man. Good old
Yeah,
days.
that's why they want to bring split screen in the first place on Halo. I just don't know why they're having a hard time doing it.
Just,
they just don't want to.
yeah,
Because if they
Simple
wanted to,
fact
they'll
to
do
it.
it. If they wanted to, they'll do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Don't bother because most people don't do couch co-op, but it's still like a really easy feature to implement, I imagine, because it's been there for so long. And they cancel it inexplicably, I'm guessing due to ineptitude, and the community figures out a way to do it themselves. Like, how is that not super embarrassing? They have this, and then it takes them 6 months just to make 2 maps. Oh my god, yeah, made directly in Forge. Meanwhile, the community already made a 1-to-1 creation of Guardian and Reflection in less than a week. I know, man. It's so sad. I don't know what they do. Like, I don't
Oh,
know
so the
what they do for
Forge
the
is
last, like,
map?
8 fucking months
Yeah,
just
map
sitting around doing,
creation.
like, nothing.
Yeah.
They just go to the office and...
Maybe that's why they're chilling because they're like people's gonna do it in Forge anyway. Like let's just chill on it. Let the other people do it.
I don't know what they do for the last, like, 8 fucking months just sitting around doing, like, nothing. They just go to the office and, like, hang out and then go home. Content creators are giving up on Halo now. My feed is spammed by Halo is dead videos. Yeah, I mean, this was really the nail in the coffin. They absolutely needed that roadmap to bang. They needed to show that they've actually been doing things for the game for the last 8 months, and they didn't.
What you said,
The
Bulldog.
only thing that even has
Yeah.
the remote possibility of bringing Halo any sort of relevancy again is their Forge mode. Because their Forge mode is outrageous. Like, the amount of shit you can do
So
in
what's
Forge
Forge
is...
mode? I actually wasn't.
You
I
could
didn't
you
play.
could create your own maps. That's what it is.
Oh,
you create your
oh.
maps.
So he's literally saying that the software they gave for everyone else to use maps, they literally used it themselves to create 2 maps.
They
Yes.
use,
wow.
yeah, exactly. They didn't do it like from scratch, like they
Yeah,
normally
yeah.
would.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
So
yeah.
So
cheap.
so what Halo did is gave the users enough power to fix their own game.
That's what a
It's
lot of
kind of
people's
what-
doing.
Well, Bethesda started it.
Yeah.
Good job, Bethesda. Good job,
Yeah, yeah.
Bethesda.
Hey, keep doing it though.
And New World too. New
keep
World.
doing it though.
Hey,
Keep doing it.
if you need some money, just do.
Stunning. That is the only hope that, like, the amount of shit you can do in Forge is stunning. That is the only hope that game has. I really think that it's inarguable that 343 has killed the Halo franchise. It has absolutely no relevancy anymore. It has fully fallen off, which
Yeah.
is crazy because for the entire early
It's true.
2000s, all the way up until like 2012, Halo was one of the most revered, one of the most popular franchises in all of gaming. It was
Greatest.
extremely
Yeah,
recognizable.
I saw
Even
that,
people that didn't play games at all knew Halo. It
Yeah.
was huge. It seemed like it was an unstoppable force, and it was extremely influential for FPS games. But then the second Bungie passed the torch to 343, they put that torch right in their fucking asshole and extinguished the flame. Halo 4 launched to pretty mediocre success. I recently replayed it, and the campaign's pretty solid, but the multiplayer sucks. Halo 5 was a complete disaster, where the campaign was the worst in the entire franchise, and the multiplayer was okay.
I didn't even play
And
it.
they also had the Master
Not
Chief
even I.
Collection, which was legitimately broken for 5 years before they finally fixed it.
Wow.
And now Halo Infinite, and you know how that story's going. It's just sad that they've let the game wither and die like this.
Yeah.
And the only hope it has is Forge, which does look amazing. But outside of that, there's nothing to look forward to with this game. It seems like they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what direction to go. They don't know what the players want. They even had like a big focus on their store for a little while there instead of the actual game. Now, I've seen a lot of copium of just be patient, they're doing their best, you know? This is unreasonable to expect them to do so much for this game, even though it's already been out. And that's such a fucking brain dead take. This game launched in a very content dry state. They released this game half finished, basically, in terms of its content. They just tried to pump it out as quickly as possible and then hoping they could patch it up later and add what they wanted to
I
initially.
had fun
That's
though.
what everyone's
That's
doing. That's what
not,
everyone's doing.
Like,
Yeah, think about it. That's literally
Yeah,
what every company's doing. They're
But
releasing
they
a game.
they list it as early access though.
Yeah, but that's such an
Yeah,
easy
that-
thing to do. Like,
Yeah, but they didn't, did they? Because when you pay early access, you're
So-
not paying full
so-
price. You're paying
so-
early access
okay,
price, aren't you,
so
as well?
so
I
put
thought
this
online
way.
was free.
Let's say that Halo releases their game
Not
as
the
early
not the
access.
campaign though.
No. Let's say Halo releases their game as early access. Let's say they put that early
Yeah.
access in front of them.
Yeah,
Nobody would complain because it's just early access. That's crazy how
Yeah,
we
yeah.
think. That's crazy how we
Mm.
think. Just because it has
Well,
a
it's-
title in front of it, we're like, oh, it's acceptable because they're still working on it.
No, it's not acceptable. I'll just stop playing it until a year later.
yeah.
hoping they could patch it up later and add what they wanted to initially. That's not like an excuse. It doesn't
but
work. Like, oh, you know, just be patient. It's
can wait
coming.
for a
Well, it
little
should have been there to start. They should have had all of this already there and ready. And now are just taking their victory lap, adding more cosmetics or adding more maps, you know? Same thing Halo has always done, where they add more maps and more things down the line, but you got the complete package off rip. That wasn't the case here. We never got the complete package, and we still, 305 days later, have not gotten the complete package. So you can't really just write it off as
Is
like,
audio
hey,
just-
stop being so impatient.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
impatience, it's just inexcusable. It's 343 not being able to follow through and deliver on the things that they said they would be able to. You know, it's a load of fish paste and super disingenuous to just blame the player base for being upset about how empty their game is. They're totally justified in feeling like their game is hollow and abandoned. 343 has been unable to communicate and deliver. At least they finally published the roadmap, but it's just not satisfactory. I saw a post on Reddit that puts it into perspective pretty well. In Halo 2's history, we're going to go back in time. Halo 2 launched. It was a great game, one of my top 5 of all time. A complete game. It wasn't missing anything or anything like that. But then 238 days later, they released the multiplayer map pack, which brought 9 new maps to the game. 238 days after the launch of Halo 2, they introduced 9 new maps with their multiplayer map pack. Halo Infinite has been out for 307 days, and they've brought 2 new maps.
Yeah.
So it's been out longer, and they've released less maps than Halo 2. Yet somehow, Halo Infinite is the first live service Halo game. What a joke. It's almost like they called it that ironically. Like they were just giggling behind the scenes like, well, you know, we're going to call it live service, but we're really not going to do shit on it. It's just like, you know, getting real silly with it and laughing at the community. I don't know, man. It's just so disappointing, and it's why I think 343 is the worst developer out there right now. They
Oh.
took what used to be a household
Right
name,
now,
Halo,
okay.
and ran it
Okay.
into the ground. Like they buried it. I don't know how Halo comes back from this. Forge is really its only chance, and even then, I'm not convinced people are gonna flock back to Halo.
I'm
for
not
Forge.
interested in Halo
But
anymore.
who knows? It is very impressive what it seems like they're doing with Forge.
It's all about
If
that
it
Call
ever
of
even
Duty.
comes out, there's a good chance they might
Easy.
even delay it. I
Goofy.
don't even believe their roadmap. They might just push it to 2023. There's no telling. But anyway,
Companies stop
that's
making
about it.
roadmaps.
No. Easy fix. You want Halo to be relevant again? Battle Royale. Done.
They thought
Halo's
about
relevant
it.
again.
They thought of
Halo's-
it,
no,
but
no,
the
no.
community
He was
shut
like,
it down.
He was like, I don't know how it will come back. No, literally, I don't care. If you put Battle Royale into Halo, Halo's relevant again.
You know what? I would try it. We
I
would
would
try
too.
it.
I
Yeah,
would
we
too.
would.
I thought it was coming out, but they didn't.